Welcome back to our show. Once again, my name is Mrs. Augustina Anyanwu, and help me welcome my friend, Mrs.
Glorynezemma. Welcome back to our sweet home, Africa. It's always a pleasure to have you again as our viewer. Alright, we have another topic today. It's a great topic. Not that great actually, because it's a very touchy topic. So our topic today is innocent prisoners in Africa. Africa. I know we're talking about all the changes that we need to make.
Yes.
And we realize that a lot of innocent people are languishing in prison just because they come from poor families. So this is what my friend and I will look into today. And then plead with people that put these people in prison to go and get them out so that they can continue to live their lives, because many of them are innocent. Alright, my dear friend.
My dear.
You heard about a lot of prisoners, a lot of people that are put in prison, either because they lost their father and somebody wants to take their land. And the only way to get that land is to falsely accuse the sons so that they can be put in prison, and then a rich man will take the land. So go ahead and address the audience and tell them a little bit of what you know about the prisoners in Africa.
My dear, thank you so much. It's not like we're pointing a finger on anybody. All we are doing is whatever we can say so that, you never know, so that those that are concerned will think twice before they keep on doing that, because sometimes it's easier for people to dish out what they cannot eat and give it to somebody else. So in Africa, one of the sayings was the poor don't have a voice.
Exactly.
So when it comes to that, the voice of the poor don't have a voice.
Exactly.
So the voice of the poor should be the government. Because we cannot continue to deny justice to the poor just simply because either they cannot bribe somebody or they don't know who. So that's a little bit disheartening when you are in a country or a continent or even in the village, and somebody have to make sure that you're rotting in jail because you don't have that amount of money. And it's not if you have committed an offense, you will say, okay, because of what I did that was wrong. A whole lot of people we are talking about now are not the criminals, because we have criminals and we have those that are serving time because of no fault of theirs, only that they were born poor.
Exactly.
And somebody, maybe the rich, accuse them, or they look like somebody who committed murder. And then once you get them, and their parents are not capable of bringing out that amount of money to bail them out or just go see the judge before the trial starts, eventually the justice is denied as far as they're concerned. So please, lawmakers, justice system in the continent of Africa, let's look into things. Let's do overhaul of so many things. The system, the way it used to be. Sometimes there are some people that are, that are not favored in it. Their own justice is being denied. So let's look into it, review, the process that we do things, so that every department will be able to focus on what they are supposed to do. Because if you are in the executive, you are not in the judiciary. If you are in the judiciary, you are not in the executive. Let every branch of the government focus mainly on what they're supposed to do. And when somebody is accused, they say accused is innocent until proven guilty. You do not sentence somebody to death or sentence somebody to jail or pronounce the person guilty before the person is being tried in court. You got to try somebody in court, and then if possible, if we had a jury to look into it, let the people decide that somebody is guilty. All right, so my friend, go ahead.
Thank you so much, my friend, for everything that you said already, because, you said a lot. So it goes back to our judiciary system. I know we pleaded with a lot of professionals, but and this time we're bringing the lawyers in. Because the lawyers are the ones that really, you know, are in position to defend people. So most of the time, it goes back to the bribery and corruption that we talk about. And that the worst place to even have bribery and corruption is in the judiciary system. Because in this case, you're dealing with human beings, not commodity. So our lawyers, please, we are pleading, because the poor are suffering so much in Africa. And then to even subject them to jail time just because they are poor. No one hears their case, no one investigates their case. Just as soon as someone points a finger at someone, you know, they arrest them and they put them in prison. And no one, you know, defends them at all. So our lawyers, please, have conscience. I mean, we're all human beings. Imagine if your loved one, your brother or your sister is sitting in jail, you know, not even being tried, just because someone, like we said, either pointed their finger, especially the rich men in Africa. When they want to take a land, like I said at the beginning, they look at whoever is in that family that maybe is in control of that land. If they cannot get that land, then they try to bribe someone to put that person in prison so that they can take the land. I mean, the wealthy people in Africa, I want people to think of what you're doing. Because if you go like that and snatch someone's land, and then put the person in prison and the person dies in prison, you know what, you have brought so much problem to your family too, because it will bring so much cost to your own family. So our lawyers, please, we're calling on you. You know, go to the prisons, find out people that are not guilty, interview them. There's a lot of people that are sitting there that have not even been given chances to even to say something about their case. They're just sitting there. I think we should all go back now, you know, revisit most of those cases and see the innocent ones that you can bring out. Because actually, why are we saying this? The reason why we're bringing this up is this. A lot of people complain about crime in Africa. And they said, oh, you know, you have a lot of criminals here, you have criminals here. But what we have realized, why we have a lot of criminals there, is because criminals are outside, while innocent ones are inside.
In jail.
Because when the criminals are arrested, the wealthy ones get them out. Especially the ones from rich families, they bring them out. So in that case, they roam around and they continue to commit crime. Why innocent people are sitting in jail? So that's why we're bringing this up. Because if we really want to put things in order in Africa, we have to put everything in order, including the prison system. So that's why we're bringing this up. My dear friend, go ahead.
My dear, like you said, you had mentioned the lawyers. What happened? I'm going to plead with the judges too. Please hear both cases. Make a God-given decision.
With open mind.
Judge rightly. Even if you know, anybody come and see you before the court day, do not sell your conscience. Judge accordingly. Because you went to school for that. And you know when somebody is saying the truth. So before you pronounce life sentence on somebody, before you give somebody 10 years, before you give somebody even a day in jail, make sure the person deserves it. Use your God-given conscience. Another thing I'm going to talk about is the guard.
Okay, the
those
prison
that
guard.
supervise those in jail. What are you doing? Please treat them as human beings, because once you don't have money, like I said, you don't have a voice. Those that have money, my friend mentioned here, their children, their relatives are not in jail, no matter any type of crime they committed. They are not in jail. There are so many people, even some politicians, that deserve to be in jail. They are not there because why? They have money.
Exactly.
Or they know somebody who knows somebody. Only the poor goes to jail in certain countries in the continent of Africa.
Exactly.
So let's ask ourselves why. Why do we do that? Why is it that? And when you arrest somebody, please tell them the type of crime they committed. Hear them out. Maybe it's not them. Maybe somebody pointed at them because their existence or their freedom is hurting that person.
Exactly.
So that's what we have to you know, make that a judgment based on our own conscience, not because somebody told you this person is a criminal, you go and arrest them, or somebody was out talking about some kind of crime that you know they're talking about you. Then because of that you want to get them off the street. It doesn't go like that. We should have freedom of speech. And then if you don't like what somebody is saying about you, and you know exactly it's you, because they didn't mention your name, you change. And then you don't want to change, all you got to do, you go and arrest them and put them in jail. Somebody else will come out and keep on saying the same thing.
Exactly.
Please, judges, please, those that are coming to arrest people, read them their rights, because everybody have their rights. You have to read them their rights. Do not take off their cell phone. Give them that chance to call somebody so that they will know where their loved ones are. It's not like when you see them even on the street, you arrest them, you go and they throw them away in jail, take their cell phone, take their belongings, which of course will be missing before if they bail them out. Let's act civil. Let's treat others as we like to be treated. Remember, one good turn deserves another.
Exactly. Actually, there's something that I want to add, because while you were talking, I just remembered when you talked about the wardens. I mean, the prison guards. Exactly. That's what it. Exactly. So the prison guard. I mean, these people are already in jail. Their freedom have been taken away from them. So to subject them to beating in prison, it's another. I mean, it's almost like torture. They are there already, and like we said, we've had stories and stories, and I have seen, even when I was in Africa, sometimes even relatives point to relatives just because they are quarreling, and they said, arrest this person, and they said, they give someone money, and they said, arrest him and beat him. I mean, why would you subject someone to another torture when they are already locked up? I mean, think of it, if this is your relative, just like my friend said, what goes around comes around. If this is your relative, would you like the person to be subjected like that? They are all human beings. Even if they committed a crime, they might serve the sentence after a while and then come out as human beings. But like we said, a lot of innocent ones are there. So just because someone fits the description, sometimes they just arrest the person because the person looks like someone that they know. And then they put the person in prison, like we said. You know, please, if you're guarding the prison, work as a prison guard. But just don't walk as a terror, and they subject people in prison already to, you know, horrible, I don't even know the word to use, because we've had so many stories about prisoners in Africa. They're human beings just like you and me. Like I said, if they committed a crime and they deserve to be punished, fine. But a lot of innocent ones are there, and these innocent ones, their cry is really getting to heaven actually, and it's causing more problem in Africa. So I think lawyers should go in, interview prisoners, and release the ones that are innocent so that they can come out and become free citizens. Because many of them are there because they don't have money. And the rich ones put them in prison. So please, judges, lawyers, go back, look into people's files again, and then revisit some of the cases and bring the innocent prisoners out of Africa. So that's what we want to address today, because our hearts, you know, our hearts are broken when we hear cases like this. Just because someone did not have money, that's why they could not come out of prison, and they are languishing in prison. Go ahead, my friend. I don't know what else to say.
The next thing I have to say, I have to call on the government, the state government, local government, and the federal government to look into the jail system in Nigeria, because I heard that it's so horrible. Even the living arrangement. See if they have bed. If you're going to lock somebody up, whether they did something or not, at least give them a place to sleep. Make sure you feed them, because I heard that the food, even the way they cook it, you that is a cook, they hire to cook food for the jail, those in jail. Remember, they're still human beings, and a lot of them are looking forward to go back to their family when they've been released. They have children, they have wives or mother or somebody. There must be a loved one outside there. So please, especially the innocent ones that pray and they cry every time in jail, please do not starve them. Please, if you have work, what are they doing? Give them something to learn, how to do it. Do they want to learn how to do haircut? Give them a trade, so then when they come out, even the criminals there, some of them are not die-hard criminals. Maybe they just take banana because they're hungry. And somebody say, ole, ole, criminal, criminal, criminal. And then they in there. So when they come out, they didn't learn trade and you already locked them up for almost 10 years. What do you think will happen when they come out? They're not going to starve. By then, they were turned into a real criminal because they are angry because you took their life away from them. So why you have them there? Let them learn how to do something. Those that didn't finish school, they can do something. Some can learn how to cook. Put them into trade so that when they come out, by then you will have a facility too that we can call halfway houses, where you can train them and teach them how to mainstream into the community again, so that when they come out they don't have to go back to jail or kill somebody, so you will put them back there because you already take everything from them. Their house, everything they know is gone. So please, government, look into the jail system so that you know, we don't keep on having repeat offenders.
You know, thank you so much. Actually, while you were talking again, something came up.
Okay.
Because actually, let's compare this to the Western world.
Okay.
Because in the Western world, what they do, they have what is called correction departments. So you have correction officers. I mean, these
halfway houses.
Exactly. So just like what my friend said, these are places that people can go to, and then they retrain them emotionally, and then even with the skills and everything. So here, they are looking at correcting behavior, and that's why they call them correction officers. So when someone is locked up, even if they committed a crime, I mean, you don't have to rule them out completely, depending on the type of crime that they committed.
Accident.
Exactly. Exactly. So, especially the innocent ones, when they come out of prison, you know, they go to correction officers and visit them, and then these people will help them, guide them back to life. So, I mean, the intention is not to destroy someone forever, especially the innocent ones, like I said.
Right.
So, after a while, you know, guide them so that they can go back into the, you know, into the system and become very productive again.
Yes.
All right, so that's our topic today, and it's a plea, actually, to our government. It's a plea to the judges. It's a plea to the lawyers. Go back, revisit our judiciary system in Africa, so that you can release the innocent ones from prison. So that's all we have to say today. Once again, thank you so much for being our viewers. I know we have so much to do in Africa. Rome was not built in one day. If we can start one step at a time positively, we will get to where we're going.